Have you ever heard the name Gog, Magog, Tubal, Rush, Gomar? They pop up in Genesis chapter 10. We see them from the three sons of Noah, Japheth, Ham, and Shem. Or we also see these names in Ezekiel chapter 38. They pop up again in Revelation chapter 20. Who are these people? Or are they people? Could they be territories? Are they a system? Is it in Turkey? Is it in Russia? And should America fear? We talk about that today on the Sirwalterj Show. Hello everybody, Sirwalterj, the Sirwalterj Show. I'm he. It is the midday connection, Fireside Friday. How y'all is? Come on in. Oh yeah, this water is going to be good today. Today is Fireside Friday where we talk about religion and politics. We talk about world affairs. That's what we do on Friday. We kind of, I'm going to get me some fire in here with some marshmallows on the stick and see if I can eat some morsels with you today. Today we're talking about the history of not so much the history of Russia, but some prophetic things that getting ready to happen. A lot of word of knowledge with prophecy. There's a difference between the two. Don't get them twisted. As you notice, as you will notice further on in this lesson, you're going to see nations that are so-called united. The United States, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, okay? But none of them are really united. The United States have not been united in minty of years, okay? It just ain't happening, all right? Now, when we look at Israel, we're going to focus on Israel and Russia and the United States really pretty much today. Israel, there are some people over there, and the nation of Israel is there. But the kingdom of Israel is not. Understand this, the fight that's over there in what's called the Middle East, those are people who formed a territory called Israel. But the kingdom of Israel has not been established. All right, that right there should say a lot. But what I want to do is talk about the political systems around the world so that you can understand that what's getting ready to happen in Bible prophecy will make sense. Those of you who are alive today, 2019, the time of this recording, there's a lot of chaos and division in our nation with the heads of state, the president and the governors and the senators and the congressmen and women. All right, there's division, and then our president goes over to foreign lands, and then he calls even more, make us a little more nervous. Well, this stuff is happening for a reason. This is not some happenstance. This is something that is being orchestrated, I believe. The political systems we have is communism, socialism, Nazism, fascism. We have dictators and princesses and potentates, kings, of course, and we have the president. And we have to decide what our political stand is, because it seems to me that more and more we see authoritarianism happening around the world, especially with Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin and Saudi Arabia. We may talk about that later on. And Donald Trump seems to be a kid in a toy store because he has this love and his mouth waters. He has this infatuation for authoritarianism from these leaders. And so when they says, I didn't do this, and notice Trump says, I believe him. I believe him. All right. So there is this thing that this man wants. There are monarchies, of course, anarchy, aristocracy, oligarchy. Okay. We want to know, are we a democracy or are we a republic? Or are we a democratic republic? All right, and all these things, they have a meaning. Democracy is the rule of the people, which means the majority rule. Or well, are we the majority that's ruling? Is there a majority that's ruling in America? Demos, people. Democracy, or dema is people, and of course Crotein, I think it's Crotein, means rule. The majority rules. So are we really a democracy? What about a republic? All right, which is, I think it's a Latin word, republic. R-E-S means thing, and public is the public. Publica, public. Okay, so are we really a republic? The law. The government is limited by law, which leaves the people alone. Okay, is that true? Not what we've been seeing over the past 8 years of Barack Obama and the 2 years under this administration. I personally believe we are oligarchy, the form of government in which ruling power is in the head of a few leaders. And the most common form of government is oligarchy. Most of the nations of the world are ruled by the power of a few. A new study jointly conducted by Princeton and Northwestern University say that America is no longer a democratic republic. The U.S. government now represents the rich and powerful, not the average citizen. So, United Press, international reports, special interest groups, and things like that, who put money, millions and millions of dollars, to get their man or their woman elected. All right. So I believe we are pretty much an oligarchy like the other nations. Now that's natural. That is political, and God has his setup as well. The church has a political setup as well. There's the ecclesiastical, what's called a polity. Okay, the Episcopal polity, many of our churches are set up by that. The Church of God in Christ is set up as an Episcopal polity, which is meaning that the bishops are the ruling body of the church. Okay, you got the Catholics, the Eastern Orthodox, the Oriental Orthodox, and what have you. Many of them up under that particular polity. But God really set up his hierarchy as him at the top. And that word is theocracy. Theocracy. That is God rule. A theocracy is a form of government that is led by God or by a person or persons who claim to rule of divine authority. All right. So theocracy is, I believe, the rule that God wanted, and the people did not want God to rule them. So they decided that they wanted a king because other nations had a king. And so God gave them King Saul. Well, I think this is what's happening today in the United States. Okay. Yes. Donald Trump. Yes. We saw that in the last administration. All right. So Vladimir Putin is a very powerful man. He a former KGB agent. He's trained in psychological manipulation. You got to understand that. That's why when Trump goes over to foreign lands, these authoritarians, hard to say that word, they are brilliant in mental telepathy. Okay, and Trump is mesmerized by them. And Vladimir Putin is well loved by his people because he mesmerizes them psychologically. Okay, he tried to do that with the last 4 or 5 presidents. Okay, America have many allies, and thank God for our neighbors around the world: England, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and many of the third world countries are our allies, and they're standing firm with us. But Russia also have some allies that we need to pay close attention to and watch out. Now, Russia would not be so-called a declared enemy of the United States, because if they was a declared enemy, then some of the things that Donald Trump did and said could cause him, he would have by now been impeached or charged with treason, more so treason. When you line up with a declared enemy to go against your nation. That's treason. And, well, that didn't happen, even though technically he committed treason by siding with Vladimir last year. Okay. Russia today has strong nuclear and conventional forces. Excellent government, high tech, WikiLeaks, hello, a large population, huge landmass, a powerful role in victory in World War II, and 40 years of a superpower. As the Russians took Abkhazia and South Ossetia in 2008, Crimea in 2014, the parts of left bank Ukraine 2014 to 2016. The question is whether Russia has significant allies to become a great power again. Russia does have a number of friends and allies around the world in parts of the former Soviet Union. That's Latvia, Estonia, Ukraine, and Crimea. Have many pro-Russian immigrants. And with over 1 million Russian Jewish immigrants, Israel is quite friendly with Russia. There is a reason why Israel is friendly with Russia. And whose Israel is that? And there's China over here, y'all. China still buys weapons from Russia and works together with it against American imperialism. China needs Russia. China needs Russia until it itself becomes a global power. It needs Russia. And who else is in this area right here? You also got North Korea. Okay? Pay close attention to North Korean and China. China needs Russia. North Korea needs China. And notice Trump is in this circle. This is the Trump circle. Pay close attention, y'all. This is the Trump circle. I'm gonna call that the Trump circle. The Trump circle. These three guys, those three leaders. When you look at friendly countries such as China, India, Hungary, Romania, Czech Republic, Argentina, Brazil, Russia under Putin is far from being a secondary regional power. It is also far from being the #1 power in the world, but it is aspiring to be #2. #2 to who? #2 to us. Ah, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, don't ignore Russia, whatever you do. It has a strong nuclear power, conventional forces, excellent government, and high tech. All of those things, Russia. We tend to ignore them sometimes, but I suggest you not do that. All right? Now, the scriptures says something about these territories. Now, if you look at this map here, you'll see some history here. Israel, this is what? I don't know. I think this is Lebanon. Is that right? Lebanon there. Turkey, at one time, was called the Ottoman Empire. I think it's, yeah, the Ottoman Empire. They were formed around 1300, and they were overtaken in World War I, I believe, so around 1920 something, and the name changed to Turkey, the Turks. The area here, which y'all again call the Middle East, and that name was changed. This area here was originally called Mesopotamia. Sometimes they call it the cradle of civilization. This would be the cradle. Over here, though, Africa would be the birthplace. This is the birthplace of civilization. This is the cradle of civilization. Iraq, Baghdad, of course, being number one there, all right? Then you have the Persian Gulf, which at one time was called Persia. And who was Persia? Iran was called Persia. It was around 1935, I think it is, that the Iranian ambassador to Germany decided to be influenced by Nazi Germany, and he insisted on the name change, and that's what we get the name Iran from. All right, so it's not Persia anymore, it's Iran. I think this is the Indian Ocean. Okay. All right, are y'all still with me? This stuff is very important. Over here is the Grecian Empire. That's Greece. Italy is up here somewhere. Okay. Here are the sons of Noah. This is Ham. This is Japheth. Okay, and this Ham, Japheth, and Shem is up in here. Okay, all right. When I read the scriptures, you will be able to find out where did Noah boys go and who's fighting right now. These are Noah's 3 sons that are fighting. They all are fighting. But God's central attention, his number one central attention, is this piece of land right here. Israel is about that big. But Russia likes Israel, and Israel likes Russia. And y'all know why they like them? Well, there's something in Israel that Russia wants. Okay? Y'all still with me? Just got in from exercise. All right, yeah, got to explain. I'm trying to explain the world. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 38, if you will. Before we go there, let's go to Genesis chapter 10. I think that's a good place to start. Genesis chapter 10 may help us out here. It says, from the family of Japheth. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth is Gomar, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. And these are familiar names that pop up, and they begin to travel throughout the northern parts north of Israel, as you will see in Ezekiel. The sons of Gomar, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. These names pop up again, not just in Ezekiel, but they pop up again in Revelation. It's hard to get rid of these cats. Okay? By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided into the lands. Now, this word Gentiles in the King James Version pretty much are sea people. These are the coastal people. All right? The Gentiles divided into the lands. Everyone after their tongue, after their families, in their nations. And these are them folk who was messing around the Caucasoid Mountains, the Gentiles. So if you are dark-skinned, you Africans, you African Americans, you black people, you are not Gentiles. No. And your folk down here with Ham and Cush and the Ethiopians and the Nubians, okay, down here in Egypt and particular other areas here, that's Ham's folks, okay, the Canaanites. But the Japheth folks are the mountain folks, the Gentile folks, okay? And then there's Shem, the Hebrew and the Israelites. And the Hebrew Israelites, funny that I should say that, many Hebrew Israelites will disagree with that because they believe that we are Jews. And many of you black people believe that we are Jews as well. Well, I get why you say that. I do understand it. but you really got to pay attention to where these boys spread out. You have to pay attention to where these boys spread out according to Scripture to give some validity to your point if you're going to claim Judaism or not. Not Judaism as the religion, but the people. If you can claim it, you got to go back. That the word transliterate is there. Okay? So when you open up the Scriptures to Ezekiel chapter 38, this is another message that came to me from the Lord. Son of man, turn and face Gog of the land of Magog. Now watch what he's saying here. The prince who rules over the nations of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. God is speaking to Ezekiel. Turn to these people that I'm putting on this list here and speak against them. Not in favor, but tell them, prophesy to them. Give him this message from the sovereign Lord. Give him this message. This is where the problem lies. Okay? Gog, Magog. Okay? Those two people pop up in Revelation. Are these people, or are they a nation? All right. And Gomar is another one. Well, if you look at current territories geographically, you will kind of see that these pop up in many of the prophetic studies and many of the Google websites. They pop up in Turkey, not so much Russia. Now there is a Rosh, okay, but outside of that, Gog, Magog, Gomar pop up in Turkey, not so much Russia. And God talk about the north of Israel. You got to go through Turkey to get to Russia. Is it the direct north? Okay. Pay close attention to the wording in the Scriptures. Give him this message from the sovereign Lord. Gog, I am your enemy. I will turn you around and put hooks in your jaws to lead you out with your whole army. Let's see. Where did I go here? I went too far up. I will turn you around and put hooks in your horses and your chariots in full armor, and a great horde armed with shields and swords. Then he says, Persia, and some Bibles say Hebrew Persia, okay? Persia, Ethiopia, okay, and Libya, he says, will join you as well. So Ham is going to join Japheth. You get it? Will join you too with all their weapons. Gomer and all its armies will also join you, along with the armies of Beth Togarmah from the distant north, and many others. Distant north, okay? Get ready, be prepared, keep all the armies around you mobilized and take command of them. A long time from now, you will be called into action. A long time from now, in the distant future, you will swoop down on the land of Israel, which will be enjoying peace after recovering from war, and after its people have returned from many lands of the mountains of Israel. And you and all your allies, a vast and an awesome army will roll down on them like a storm and cover the land like a cloud. So Israel is enjoying peace. And the Scripture says when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes from all over the world, especially from the northern places above Israel. And okay, they're going to come against Israel. Who's calling this? God himself is insisting that this happens. I did a show called The 9 Wars Against Israel. Go on YouTube and under this channel, and I talk about the wars. The number one, the constant war of 1948, the Suez War, 1956, the Six-Day War, 1967, the War of Attrition, 1967, the Yom Kippur War, 1973, the Lebanese War of 82, the first Arab Intifada, 1987, the first Gulf War under Bush Sr., remember that? 1991, the second Arab Intifada, when was that? 2000 to 2004. Intifada, the Hezbollah War of 2006, the War of Hamas 2008. All right, these are all these wars that Israel goes through. Why? Because Israel was born in war. Israel was born in war, and they have always seen it. Now, you keep reading in Ezekiel 38. This is what the sovereign Lord says. At that time, evil thoughts will come to mind, and you will devise a wicked scheme. And you will say, Israel is unprotected land filled with unwalled villages. I will march against her and destroy these people who live in such confidence. And I will go to those formerly desolated cities that are now filled with people who have returned from exile in many nations, and I will capture vast amounts of plunder. It goes on and on and on and on. So when will this war against Israel happen? Not anytime soon. No, because you have to understand what God says. These unwalled, that means they feel so safe. They feel so safe that, unlike what Trump is trying to do with the wall and keep people out, notice what God says. He says, you will say Israel is unprotected land filled with unwalled villages. Right now, that's not happening. Now, could this happen in our time? I don't think it would. I think it happens after the rapture. And I think it happens before the tribulation, the first 3.5 years, because this evil person, the Antichrist, kicks them out, and he sits in the temple proclaiming that he is the Christ. So it happens probably right before the tribulation happens, because there's going to be this war. There's going to be so much blood that it's going to take them 7 years to gather up the spoil and the booty of war and bury people. It's going to take 7 years to even do that. So that can't be during the tribulation, because the tribulation is only 7 years. Understand? So for those of you who are in Bible prophecy, it may or may not make sense to you. You need to read a little bit more. Okay? So that's what's happening there. Okay? So this is one big piece of mess, because there are 3 people that we need to pay attention to. Not just the 3. There's a couple here, because we look at Iran. Remember Ahmadinejad, his name is a tongue tire, and I think Hassan right now. Okay, they said pretty much, we're going to wipe Israel from off the face of the earth, which is a prophetic word spoken in the book of Psalm, I believe. All right, when he said that, we knew that we were entering directly into the end time. All right, Russia is not a small player. They are a big player, and pay close attention to them, because this is a mind game. And Russia attacked many of the areas around them, and they attacked us as well. Okay, let's see, where did I place that? I've got my old notes. This let's see, where is it? I talked about that in one of my studies on the 9 wars. And Russia today, I talked about with over 1 million Russian Jewish immigrants, Israel is quite friendly to Russia. All right, I talk about the war may not happen. I talk about also the attacks, the Crimea thing, but the attack 2 years ago. And what kind of attack was that? That was a cyber attack on the United States. How was this nation able to do that? Up under, okay, Russia invades Georgia. Where's Georgia? Georgia is right next door, right up here. Okay, so that was easy. Russia invades Georgia. Russia annexed Crimea. The cyber attack on Estonia in 2007, and the cyber attack against the United States. Okay? Russia ain't playing. They're not playing. God is going to call all of these nations, Gog, Magog, Gomar, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, China, because we're looking at the two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates River. God is going to allow it to dry up so that these nations can come over and attack Israel. So everybody is going against Israel. What is America doing? America is a silent partner. She's not in Bible prophecy. Go into your scriptures, you won't find her in here. And if you go on YouTube and Google and you look at some of the websites and some of the teachers out there, they're trying to find America and they come up with all kind of stuff in there, but none of it lines up. None of it line up. So where is America in Bible prophecy? Why don't we do that next week? Find out where are they. All right. But right now, America is getting weaker and weaker because of our two things are going to weaken us even more. It's the politics and the finance. The American dollar is turning out to be the weakest thing that we have. It's the dollar. The dollar is weak. I can show you it's weak. I'll do it on my Mondays of generational wealth shows. I'll show you how weak the dollar is and how weaker it's getting and it's getting. Watch the stock market every day and you'll see the weakening of the dollar and the economy. So the destruction of us will be like, I would say, like Rome. We're the new Roman Empire. What happened to Rome? There was an attack from the outside, although there was attempts. They imploded. That's America. America will implode. Pay close attention to that guy right there, because he know we weak. He know it. What make us really weak among all of the other nations is we voted for this type of guy, which showed how divided we are. And you know, a divided nation cannot stand. And Russia knows that. As it pertains to Israel, Vladimir Putin building churches. Yep. Putin building Russian churches and supporting Israel through that. Yes, he is. You want more on that? Let's do part 2. I'm done, y'all. Hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the bing, the bell. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button and share with your neighbors and friends. And look at all of the thumbs down is going to happen. Who's going to come from? Israel, the Negro Israelites. It's going to come from some Orthodox Jews. It's going to come from the unbeliever, the atheists, and those who are archaeologists. And it's going to come from a whole lot of folk. People are going to hate this video, and I get it. I understand. The thing about this is somebody going to be right when the day of the Lord comes. We're going to realize who really is right. Because I understand why people keep putting Gog, Magog, Tubal, and Rush and Gomar into Russia. I get it, but I think that's an error. Some of those places are in Turkey, and possibly Gog might be a person or a system more so than it is a territory. Just like some people believe that the Antichrist is a system. Well, no, that's a person. Love y'all. Gotta go. All right. TST, the Sir Tribe. Y'all all right by me. This is the Sirwalterj Jones Show. Russia is flogging and closing many houses of worship. Yeah, Jermaine. Yeah, they are. There's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind it. Look at Israel. Look at, what's his name? What is the Prime Minister? Netanyahu. Netanyahu is in trouble right now. Legal trouble. They're trying to put him away. But Israel right now, the territory of the nation, because the United States proclaimed them a nation in 1948, 1949, but they hate black folks. They are absolutely dead set against black people, because those coming out from Africa come up into Israel, up in Jerusalem, and they can't stand. Israel is one of the most bigoted nations in the world. Yes, they are. From a democratic republic to an oligarchy, this new form of power structure is the U.S., where power rests with such a small number of people should leave us all the reading, the writing on the wall. Nobility, wealth, family ties, education, religion, politics, and military control. We have to pay attention in the methodology, the methodical in following the connections. Bob Mueller, yeah, approach to following the money. Its destination is going to have to pave our footing, yeah, or the lack thereof. Amber Rogers, one of the most intelligent writers I know. I get tongue-tied on some of these simple words, but y'all working with me. I appreciate y'all praying for me. Chosen videographer, blessings to you. Blessings to you. There is a city named Tubal in Russia, and Moscow recalls Meshach, but Russia is not the only place that has the resonance. Yes. Yep. I don't know how you can be capitalist economically in the Brentic. Yeah, sadly many have their eyes wide shut. Donald Trent, y'all are there. Come on, y'all are there, man. This is so true. That's why I love my TST, because y'all are in tune to the world situations, not just watching some stupid TV program and getting all your news from comedians. I mean, this is important. And what the shame about this is that the average Christian know nothing about this stuff. The average Christian don't know anything about world history or present history or geography. They did a test on even Americans, and they put an American map. They put a map of the United States there, and the average American can only name maybe 10 states on the map. That's it. Okay, so if they can only name 10 states on the map, can you imagine them trying to name the countries and the territories? And there's people still believe that Africa is a country. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing that Christians who have the Bible that talks about all of these nations and end time prophecy, we don't even study none of this, which makes us weak, which makes the enemy stronger, which causes Satan to have his way with us. He sifts us as wheat because he knows we don't know any of this history. Russia, they know that the United States is dumb. The United States are as dumb as sheep, and Russia knows this. North Korean leader, he knows this too. He knew that Donald Trump was, well, I'm not going to say he's dumb as rocks, okay? I don't like talking against the President of the United States, but he is, he doesn't have the testicular, what did he say? The testicular fortitude, okay? He doesn't have it all the way up here, and Korea know that. That's why he went over there and spent all of our tax money, and came back over here with no agreement. Why? Because Trump is the weakest president we've ever had, and he uses superlatives to make up for his weakness, and the people fall for it. And the blind leading the blind, both is falling into the ditch. And Kim Jong-un knows that, and Vladimir knows that, the Iranian president knows that, the China man knows that, okay? And guess what? Well, y'all got the answer. So true, we must keep it. Yep. Most church people don't know because they are looking for a feel-good message. Donald, they're going to get you, man. They're going to get you. Yeah, they're going to get you, Donald Trent. Run, Forrest. That's exactly it. We're looking for money coming to me now. speak those things that be not, decree and declare, and all of these little magic tricks that we do, and the nations are looking at us shouting and jumping up and down in church and speaking in tongues and laying hands on everybody, and the nations are laughing at us saying, oh, it's just always a party with those people over there. Meanwhile, Russia is hacking into our system. And we just sitting there like, ooh, look at this ad on Facebook. Look at this ad on Twitter. Look at this ad on Instagram. Oh, wow, this person really did die. Y'all be sending me people who had died, and the person who died, these Hollywood people say, I ain't dead. All you have to do is a simple Google search. That's all you have to do. That's how Russia got you. They put up these fake ads and things like that, and you believed it right away because it was in the form of an ad. All you had to do was either talk to the person directly or do a Google search. And if the consensus of the people, and I'm talking bona fide newspapers, if they're not talking, the Washington Post, the USA Today, Chicago Tribune, okay, the New York Times, if they ain't saying nothing about something that may be important to the world, and they ain't saying nothing about it, it might be fake news. And we got soaked up in that fake news, and Russia laughed all the way to raise your right hand, Donald Trump. I, Donald Trump, do solemnly swear. It's sad. It ain't funny. I'm laughing so I won't be crying. All right? We perish for lack of knowledge. Yes. Yes, we perish. We perish. It's sad. So there it is. These are Noah's boys. This is also, this is Isaac and his brother. This is Isaac and his brother. This is Jacob and his brother, Esau. And of course, this is the three brothers of Noah. That's who fighting. Ishmael is up over here somewhere. Yeah, well, he all up in here. That's Ishmael all up in there. Okay, all these brothers are fighting. That's what's going on here. And the Gentiles are having their way. All right, y'all. This was the after show. I just want to spend some time with my Facebook friends because y'all are smart. I like reading y'all's comments because y'all be smart. The ticking of the ears. The tickling of the ears while they grow weak. Tickling of the ears. That's exactly what's happening. Itching ears. Itching ears. And Russia is the big mosquito, I call her. She's the mosquito. And she is tickling the ear of the United States. And let's hear some more. Let's hear some more. And that's what's happening. All right. So will there be a war with the United States and Russia? No time soon. No. Why? You got China over here. All right. Russia got allies. You don't want to fool with them. You really don't want to fool with them. Our gates are weak. One of the things that you have to understand, Mother Nature plays a big part also in the weakening of our nation. Here's a perfect way to attack. During the hurricane season, and during the what they call it, when you see the hurricane season mostly in the east, but we in the Midwest have a tornado season as well. But especially during hurricane season, that is the weakest we are. Can you imagine us being hit during that time? And then chemical warfare, which is weak. And then, of course, with cyber attacks, America is weak. So we're trying to put up walls, but the people who are coming over here causing destruction come over here legally. So all of the money we're trying to, and time and emergency declarations and things like that for a wall, that is the Trojan horse effect. It's a Trojan horse. I was late. You are good. Hey, Agape. I love you, girl. You know I love me some you. Okay, I'm done. I think I've done enough damage. Hit the share button if you will. If not, it's your choice. Let your Facebook friends remain ignorant. I said that. Bye-bye. Most church people don't know because they are looking for a feel-good message. Donald, they're going to get you, man. They're going to get you. Yeah, they're going to get you, Donald Trump. Run, Forrest. That's exactly it. We're looking for money coming to me now. Speak those things that be not. Decree and declare. And all of these little magic tricks that we do. And the nations are looking at us shouting and jumping up and down in church and speaking in tongues and laying hands on everybody. And the nations are laughing at us saying, oh, it's just always a party with those people over there. Meanwhile, Russia is hacking into our system. And we just sitting there like, woo, look at this ad on Facebook. Look at this ad on Twitter. Look at this ad on Instagram. Oh, wow, this person really did die. Y'all be sending me people who had died. And the person who died, these Hollywood people say, I ain't dead. All you have to do is a simple Google search. That's all you have to do. That's how Russia got you. They put up these fake ads and things like that, and you believed it right away because it was in the form of an ad. All you had to do was either talk to the person directly or do a Google search. And if the consensus of the people and I'm talking bona fide newspapers, if they're not talking to the Washington Post, the USA Today, Chicago Tribune, okay, the New York Times, if they ain't saying nothing about something that may be important to the world and they ain't saying nothing about it, it might be fake news. And we got soaked up in that fake news, and Russia laughed all the way to raise your right hand, Donald Trump. I, Donald Trump, do solemnly swear. It's sad. It ain't funny. I'm laughing so I won't be crying. All right? We perish for lack of knowledge. Yes. Yes, we perish. We perish. It's sad. So there it is. These are Noah's boys. This is also, this is Isaac. And his brother, this is Isaac and his brother. This is Jacob and his brother, Esau. And of course, this is the three brothers of Noah. That's who's fighting. Ishmael is up over here somewhere. Well, he all up in here. That's Ishmael all up in there. Okay. All these brothers are fighting. That's what's going on here. And the Gentiles are having their way. All right, y'all. This was the after show. I just want to spend some time with my Facebook friends because y'all are smart. I like reading y'all's comments because y'all be smart. The ticking of the ears. The tickling of the ears while they grow weak. Tickling of the ears. That's exactly what's happening. Itching ears. Itching ears. And Russia is the big mosquito, I call her. She's the mosquito. And she is tickling the ear of the United States. And we just, let's hear some more. Let's hear some more. And that's what's happening. All right. So will there be a war with the United States and Russia? No time soon. No. Why? You got China over here. All right. Russia got allies. You don't want to fool with them. You really don't want to fool with them. Our gates are weak. One of the things that you have to understand, Mother Nature plays a big part also in the weakening of our nation. Here's a perfect way to attack. During the hurricane season, and during the what they call it, when you see the hurricane season mostly in the east, but we in the Midwest have a tornado season as well. But especially during hurricane season, that is the weakest we are. Can you imagine us being hit during that time? And then chemical warfare, which is weak. And then, of course, with cyber attacks, America is weak. So we're trying to put up walls, but the people who are coming over here causing destruction come over here legally. So all of the money we're trying to, and time and emergency declarations and things like that for a wall, that is the Trojan horse effect. It's a Trojan horse. I was late. You are good. Hey, Agape. I love you, girl. You know I love me some you. Okay, I'm done. I think I've done enough damage. Hit the share button if you will. If not, it's your choice. You let your Facebook friends remain ignorant. I said that. Bye-bye.